All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. We talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Well, good morning. My name is Brady Henderson. This is the All Sports, All Plays Network. This is the ASAP in the Morning special edition. It will not be just me today. I'm joined by one of the best panels there is in sports. So let me introduce you to each and one of them. My first one is my brother, Phil. What's going on, Phil?
What's going on, fam? How we doing this morning, man?
Man, I ain't been up bright early this morning, watching a lot of movies. Just glad to be here to talk some sports.
Hey, man, can't complain about that.
There you go. And then, you know what? I'm gonna save him for last because he's doing something that we all want to do. But I'm gonna introduce you, my brother. He's a Cincinnati Bengals fan. He's happy. This is the first time in a long time they have been relevant. My brother Clarence.
What's going on, fellas, man? It's been a long time, but it's finally here.
There you go.
All right. How y'all doing today?
Man, we good.
Yeah,
we good.
Good, man. Good.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. Let me on the network, let me express my feelings. That's in Cincinnati. So I'm just happy to be a part.
There you go. And then my brother, you seen him on ASAP. He started on Jock Talk. He went to radio. He did this. He did that. So now he got his very own show on the radio. And I'm gonna let him tell you where you can find him at. The one and only Trey. What's going on, Trey?
Oh man, Saturday morning. I don't know why I'm up so early. I'm kidless free. I don't know why I'm up, to be honest with you.
Me too.
Like my daughter's spending the night with my parents. I'm like, why am I up? But anyway, I'm up. I'm a morning person. I'm happy to be on talking sports. Big weekend, man. I'm excited, man. But yeah, new show. Got the okay clearance from a small market radio show on 103.7 The Buck here in Kerrville, Texas. That's about 40 miles south or north of San Antonio. I'm excited. It's going to start in a couple of weeks. Time and date or to be announced. But yeah, all it is in radio, man, is all who you know, hard work and grinding, man, and love and support of your family for sure. Putting in the hard work and knowing that there's something you want to do, and just I'm excited, even though it's only for an hour. But hey, it's a foot in the door. Talk all sports, everything. I'm excited, so I'm happy to be on with y'all. Big weekend of sports. I can't wait to get started.
Sure.
Yeah, so make sure you tune in to Trey, follow him, support him. He got much support from the All Sports All Plays Network. But let's get it, gentlemen. Like Trey said, we have a big weekend in sports. Tomorrow, you know what? We're gonna start the NFC. We have the San Francisco 49ers, who've been spoiling everybody. I mean, beat the Green Bay Packers and that bad man at Aaron Rodgers the way that they did. Now, this Sunday, they will be coming to L.A. to Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, and the crew. Can Jimmy G spoil their run? Trey.
You want my opinion on this game?
Yeah, can they spoil it? Yeah.
Dude, I'm picking the 49ers in this game. This is a team that is everyone's like laughing because they barely got in the playoffs. They had to beat the Rams in the last week of the playoffs. They were down 17-0 to the Rams going into the second half. But Kyle Shanahan stick to what got him there is a run game. And people forget that this team was not healthy throughout the majority of the year. When they get healthy, this team is an elite football team. That offensive line, you have Trent Williams, a 350-pound lineman going in motion and blocking off defenders and then you have that bad man, Deebo Samuels, man, who can be put up running back, receiver. He's the most exciting player to watch in the NFL right now. I'm sorry. He is the most exciting player because you don't know where he's going to be with all the movements that Kyle Shanahan puts him in. And then that front four, man, when you don't have to blitz and you're giving the quarterbacks hell and without a blitz package and you can just pack 8 in the backfield and guard the receivers that the Rams are going to have. There's a reason the Rams lost to this team twice already. It's because of that front four and that run game of the San Francisco 49ers. I just don't trust. Yeah, Matthew Stafford threw a big pass to Coop last week to advance them after giving up that big lead, 23-3 lead against the Buccaneers, but I'm still not sold on him. Can he get the job done? And remember, this is not a home game for the Rams. I guarantee the 49er fans it's going to be 75-25 49ers versus Rams. And I think that's going to be proven fact. I think Garoppolo is going to have a great game. It's going to no nasty weather. I just until Matthew Stafford proves it to me, I just think Jimmy Garoppolo has been there. Kittle says he wants to go back and win this title. I think Kittle's going to have a good game. Deebo Samuels, we don't know what he's going to do. That front four is going to get to Stafford. But the only question is, can they hold up against Von Miller and Sam Darnold? That's the only question mark. But I just think the 49ers just have way too much. I think they're riding high. They remind me of the Packer team when Aaron Rodgers was the 6th seed and they went on the road and won. I think they got hot at the right time. They got healthy at the right time. Now, I had the 49ers win this one 27-23.
Dustin commented on there, and he said it is hard to beat the same team 3 times in 1 year.
Cowboys did it.
With the Rams on this one. And then he also said, how hasn't Stafford proven to you yet?
That's true. I asked my Saints about Tampa Bay, last year, 2 years ago. We beat them twice, but that third game in the playoffs, we couldn't seal a deal, man. So it's tough.
Clarence, do you think Jimmy G, because, let's be honest. Jimmy G came into the playoffs with pressure all on him. He heard the talk that, the San Francisco 49ers might be moving on from him. They got Trey Lance. But let's be honest. San Francisco might need to rethink their thoughts because him in the QB position, they've been winning games. I understand, a few years ago, they didn't win in the big moment, but they win a lot of games with them. Do you think it's time for the 49ers to commit to Jimmy G and say, okay, you are quarterback going down the road? What can we expect from him Sunday? And what is your expectations for this game?
Well, for the number one, Jimmy G contracts probably end after the season. So they probably got a big decision to bring if they go bring him back on a small, affordable deal, or they just gonna let the man walk though. But I think at this point in time, the 49ers, they are the better team that they were when they made it to the Super Bowl, and in my opinion, because of the weapons they got, the physical defense that they bring to the table. Hell, even the special teams even make an effect, as we seen it against the Packers in the divisional round. But back to Jimmy G. I think for Jimmy G, I think you move on from this type of guy because, his contract's up. You got to pay your guy Deebo Samuel, and you got a young quarterback behind him in Trey Lance that can be a good quarterback. He just need a development, though. But Jimmy G is probably one of their, I will say, not their big problem because they already know what he brings to the table. Hell, he's 6-0 against the Rams, though. He's 6-0 against the Rams. That's a stat you can't forget about. But my expectation for this NFC Championship game is How will Jimmy G handle that pass rush? Like what Trey said with Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Foy. Heck, they might even bring in a guy from the secondary, though. But can Jimmy G be the quarterback they want him to be? Because this go turn into a quarterback battle during the game, though. But if I had to choose, though, Freddie, man, I'm rolling with the Rams because I don't see like a 49ers beating them 3 times. Like as Trey said again, like you see the Saints. Phil said, like his Saints lost to the Buccaneers like in the postseason. They swept them. They swept them for 2 years straight though, but they lost in the postseason in the divisional round. This Rams team is more talented than them, and I think their offense like kills the Niners offense right there. But I got the Rams winning 38-31.
Phil, so going into the season, a lot of folks had the Rams as the Super Bowl favorites just because they brought in Matthew Stafford. Before Matthew Stafford came to LA, we always knew that, he was a good quarterback. He could throw the football. He could make late quarter comebacks and stuff like that. But we never wanted to put him in that top 5 quarterback range. After seeing Aaron Rodgers have a disappointed season, getting blown out by Jimmy G, but seeing, Tom Brady, even though he had a great season, but is it time to put Matthew Stafford in that top 5 QB position in today's NFL? And what's your prediction for the game this week?
Like our stat guy said down below, he was stuck on those horrible Detroit teams for years, horrible coaching, you know what I'm saying? So now we are getting to see what a strong arm quarterback can do with some strong skill positions around him. Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, OBJ, a talented defense, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, which is winning games, So as far as this matchup this weekend, the Rams are going to win it, but who is Jimmy G really, right? He's a game manager. He's another Alex Smith, right? He has a great winning percentage, but what does all these wins in the regular season mean if you don't have a ring at the end of the day, right? So I think the 49ers, they wanted to go the Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes route by sitting Trey Lance for the first year, letting him soak up all that knowledge, letting him learn from behind a seasoned vet so that next year he can take over. But I think there's only a handful of teams that can really rely on a strong running game and a defense to win a championship in today's era of football, right? And we saw what happened to those teams. Tennessee Titans with a strong running game. Derrick Henry got injured, but when he came back, they still couldn't win it, right? The Colts, Jonathan Taylor had a monster year, but Carson Wentz couldn't compliment him. The Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry, he's my guy, but he can't hit the grass out of a barn. You know what I'm saying? So we're in an era of football now where you got to air it out. You need to have a good defense, but you got to air it out. So I think the Rams, they had just a little bit more on the offensive side of the game. And I think Sean McVay, I give him a slight edge in coaching as well. And that defense is stout. Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, a few other guys. I got the Rams winning by maybe 14 points.
Trey, you got something to say?
With coaching concerns, I think they're tied, Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay. They both got to the Super Bowl. They both lost. Kyle Shanahan did it with Jared Goff was awful too. I forgot, but I think there's a reason why the San Francisco 49ers beat this Rams team because they match up well. And there's one key factor that no one's talking about is Robert Woods being injured. Robert Woods is going to be missed this game because the 49ers are not going to do what the stupid Tampa Bay Buccaneers did. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers double-teamed Cooper Kupp. At the end of that game, we'll probably be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing the San Francisco 49ers in Tampa Bay right now. That's just calling a blitz at the end of that's stupid. Why you put a safety on Cooper Kupp? That's neither here or there. I just this motion of Stafford being a top 5 quarterback. Yeah, he had one good game last week. He didn't turn the ball over, but could we really trust him? Like that's what I'm saying. He doesn't have enough playoff games. That's why I don't trust Dak. That's why I don't trust because he hasn't had it. Yes, he's playing on bad Detroit teams. He has weapons, but Robert Woods being absent this game is going to be a fact. This is why the OBJ doesn't do what Robert Woods does. He doesn't. He doesn't go.
That's a hot take.
As well as what Robert Woods. I'm telling you, OBJ's going to have a game. He's going to catch his 4 to 6 passes for 68 yards, probably have a touchdown, everything like that. But Robert Woods is going to be missed in this game for that reason. There's a reason why the 49ers. They know how they play the matchup against the Rams very well. Jalen Ramsey's going to have he's going to follow Deebo Samuel all the way around the court or the field.
Trey, I think you're understating how much of a better quarterback Matthew Stafford is in comparison to Jimmy G. Think about this. Matthew Stafford was doing what Patrick Mahomes was doing way before he got in the league. He started the sidearm stuff. He started deep balls. I don't think that Jimmy G has the physical profile to match what Matthew Stafford is.
I agree with you. I think Jimmy G. I think he's gone. I think Trey Lance is going to be your guy coming forward. I think Trey Lance. I think there's a reason they drafted him on the way as high up as they did. I think Kyle Shanahan's going to have a new fancy toy come next year, and I think his run legs and he's going to add to the running game, and then his arm, his accuracy is more talented than Jimmy G. I mean, for God's sake, Jimmy G. Every time he throws the ball outside the numbers, I think the ball's going to be picked. I think I can get eat a whole bag of popcorn by the time that ball gets thrown to the wide receivers. I'm not saying that he's a great game manager, but I'm just talking about team person. Yeah, Stafford is better than Jimmy G, but I wouldn't say Stafford is a top 5 quarterback in this league as of right now. Maybe top 7, but not top 5. That's all I'm getting there. But Stafford is good. One thing Stafford when he gets confidence, that's when he's scary for his own team because he thinks he has that Brett Favre tendency, right? He thinks he can make every throw in the world. And when his confidence level is up, that's when he starts throwing those interceptions. So that's something you probably have to watch out for. We saw in the San Francisco 49er game in week 18, they were up 17-0. He got cocky and he started turning the ball over. And for the love of God, if I'm the Rams and Sean McVay, I'm not playing Cam Akers this game unless it's in the pass formation or something like that. That guy is a hell of a running back, but at the same time, he's known for fumbling the ball ever since his high school days, Florida State, and now I would not. After he fumbled that first at the end of the first half of the Tampa Bay game, I wouldn't put him back in. And why the hell is Sony Michel not in that game? Because he has championship pedigree. He's a hard horse. He's carried that team throughout the season. Sony Michel should have been in that game, or they would have blown out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers even more. But Sony Michel needs to be your ride or die horse in this game for sure. We're the Rams.
Dustin said Mahomes, Allen, Rodgers, Brady, Stafford in that order. Dustin, that's blasphemy for having Aaron Rodgers behind Josh Allen. I don't want to hear that, sir. But we're going to talk about that soon, though. And then he said
Rodgers out of top 5 until further notice.
He has been good for 11 years. He has had 11 years of good games, just never had a team to show for it.
He never had a good team in Detroit. Probably 3 teams out of 13 years he been there. This is his best team.
He had that good team against when he went to the wild card against Dallas. Everyone wants to say about that.
Well, compared to this team, they don't stand a chance though.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he did have a good. He had some elite receivers, but he had bad coaching too. Jim Caldwell did a hell of a job. If Jim Caldwell was still the head coach after that 9-7 season, Jim Caldwell probably would have turned that franchise around and they probably would have won a couple playoff games.
Yeah, Matt Patricia, I didn't like that signing at all. I think they just went backwards though once they hired him.
No, because you got these guys that come from these coaching trees, right? The Belichick coaching trees, the Andy Reid coaching trees. They want to emulate those guys. Like, nah, dude, just be yourself. Don't try to come in there and force another guy's philosophy down these players' throats. These are all vets too, trust and respect.
And can we get off Belichick? It's just like the Nick Saban effect, right? Except for Kirby Smart, these coaching trees, they're not good. Bill Belichick, name me one good, successful coach that came from there, from that coaching tree. You might put in Mike Vrabel, but he was never really a coach, right? He was a player.
He was a player, exactly.
Yeah. So there's not been one, and the Raiders are fixing to find that out when they hire Josh McDaniels. The Raiders can do Raider things, but that's neither here nor there. I'm just saying Jim Caldwell was a good coach, and I don't know why they pulled the plug on him because he had a 97 season in a Detroit team, and I guarantee you he would have turned that team around. But Matthew Stafford, top 6. I don't think he's top. I put Joe Burrow over Stafford, Allen, Mahomes. I'll also put Rodgers in there. He had one bad game. Yeah, Freddie, you know how much I hate Aaron Rodgers. But that guy in the regular season, he puts up.
He can't win in big games, man.
He can't. He's a choke artist in the playoffs.
Oh man!
And that's why I hate when they always
hold your comments.
Because Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, their resumes are almost identical, except for the MVPs maybe. But they're always putting Aaron Rodgers on this huge pedestal, like he's so much better than. Nah, come back down here to Drew Brees level, baby.
You know what? This is gonna be fun because I'm gonna be getting on. Look like I'm about to go 3 against 1 on that topic. But hey, let's go to the other game that day. Now, this game right here It's going to be probably the most exciting game of the games this weekend. It's going to be the high-scoring game of the weekend. We're going to see two quarterbacks that bring a certain different swagger to the game. Hey, I believe it's going to be a shootout. And I'm sorry, Clarence, my brother, but if you mean to tell me if I got to go in a shootout with against Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, and the Cheetah, I'm taking them all day long. I'm taking them all day long. Let's not forget, this is the same team, beginning of the season, everybody wanted to say, the Chiefs are done. We even had Nate the Great come on here and say, "Oh, the Chiefs ain't making it to the playoffs. This team,
Ooh.
there is no way that they can make it to the playoffs." We've heard that after how they start a season, but since then, you want to talk about hot. You want to talk about scoring points. The Chiefs are looking like the Chiefs. I understand Cincinnati got only flaw they have is that O line.
And
I
then you woke
understand
up, Freddie. And then you woke up.
I understand that. I understand, you guys have a decent defense. It's not great, but it's decent. It's a
Decent.
good defense. I mean, I understand what you got in Chase. You got in Burrow. But at the end of the day, I do not believe you will score more points with than Pat Mahomes, the Cheetah, and Kelsey. And since this is your team going against them players, I'm gonna let you take a stab at it.
Hey man, don't forget T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd,
Thank
CJ
you.
Uzama, hell, even Drew Sample. Drew Sample is the reason why. It's one of the reasons why Joe Mixon is a Pro Bowler because he's a great blocker for a tight end, and he got underrated hands, underrated catches though. But they don't put him in there though. They don't put him in schemes though. But I hear you, Freddie. I've been hearing this all week for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, this Mahomes, this the Chiefs, man. Like, man, Mahomes, man, you don't want to be in the shootout with him. Imagine Mahomes had a perfect game. I don't want Mahomes to have a perfect game. I just want the Bengals to go in there, block out all the crowd noise, and play their game. That's all I'll ever want them to do. Like I'm gonna tell you like this. They exceeded expectations. They overachieved expectations. Like some people had them going 7-10, some people had them at 10-7. But realistic me, I had them at 9-8 because this is a young team and they wanted to develop and they needed to build that chemistry together. But Burrow and Chase took it. They already like set the tone. They went bananas though. I mean, we in the recent years, young quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, they came out in their second and third year. So this could be expected from Burrow and Chase, though. As we, the first game, wild card, our first playoff game in 31 years, Joe Burrow said this is the tone. And this is the tone that we're carrying on to. And I can't believe we made it all the way to the AFC Championship game, but I'm rolling with my guys, though, because I know how hungry they are. And this defense is far from decent, Freddie. I'm going to say they're average. I'm gonna say they're average though, because if they can get the right pass rush,
Average is decent.
I mean, no, decent in my book is like a D average, man. Come on, man. Decent, like you get the pass though, but you need more work. Like, nah, man. We got Pro Bowlers on our defense, man. But I think I think this game is gonna be the most exciting game all weekend because we finally see Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. And, Mahomes, he got that, like, ability, like, hey, if I'm playing great, I'm expecting you at least to play good because if you don't stop me, then it's going to get crazy. But I'm rolling with my guys, though, because we have the better defense. And the Chiefs got to stop us, too. They have to stop our offense. And I think they will have a problem all game stopping our offense because we got, like, 3 juggernauts at receiver, an underrated tight end, and one of the best running backs in the league. And I can't forget about Joey B, a top 5 quarterback. He coming back from a ACL injury. This guy is hungry. He got ice in his veins, man. I got Bengals winning 31-28.
Wow.
Who they?
Trey, tell me you going with Pat Mahomes, the Cheetah, the Kelsey. Come on, tell me.
Well, I don't know how much y'all pay attention to me, but I actually did say on one podcast, because I've done so many podcasts, I don't know which one I was on. But I said earlier in the year, or before the playoffs, the Bengals will win 2 playoff games. And heaven behold, here it is. Joe Burrow, man, this cat is cocky mother effer, man. This guy, he can back it up too. I mean, this guy, I thought he was going to be a buzz coming out of LSU because I thought he was a system quarterback out of Joe Brady.
Whoa.
That's what I thought, but I was wrong.
What? Well, we didn't know how he would explode, but
I'm an LSU fan, so my bad.
I mean, before the national championship, Joe Burrow wasn't doing much at LSU. Let's just be straight. I mean, Ohio State, he wasn't doing much. That's why he transferred, blah, blah, blah. We all know the story. But this guy is caught ever since he won the national championship. Hey, my hat's off to you, man. This guy is a cocky. He backs it up. Smoke that cigar, whatever the case may be. But there's one word that describes this game and who's going to win. Who has turnovers? Whoever has the least amount of turnovers is going to win this game. The reason I say that is because, like you said, the Bengals, their defense, they remind me of the Dallas Cowboy defense. If they're not turning the ball over, they're giving up yards. They have to turn the ball over for that offense and everything. But that offensive line for the Cincinnati Bengals kind of gave me scared. Yeah, they got away with 9 sacks on Joe Burrow last week. But at the same time, you also had Ryan Tannehill throw you 3 interceptions, one at the beginning of the game, one at the middle of the game, and then one at the end of the game. That kept y'all in this game. Kept y'all in that game. I like this Bengals team, man. This AFC quarterback situation. Good luck going to AFC because this quarterback situation in the AFC is tough. It's going to be NFL's in good shape if Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady retire, but I think that in this game, I think that the Chiefs are going to be riding high from that wild, crazy game that they had against Buffalo. I think the Bengals take an early lead. I think it's going to be a close game all the way through the third quarter, but I think Patrick Mahomes in that offense, I think the Chiefs get 1 or 2 stops in the fourth quarter, and I think they run away with it in the fourth quarter. I think the Chiefs are going to win by 10 points going away. I just think I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Pringles,
Badger.
but I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked if the Bengals do win this game, though. I think it is going to be a good game. I think if the Bengals can turn the Chiefs over once or twice, we've seen that there's no lead that is safe for the Chiefs to come back. I mean, the Chiefs, you can be down 21-0. The Chiefs can blink of an eye. We saw with the Houston Texans a couple playoffs ago. They came back in a quarter and took the lead and were up by double digits. This defense is going to step up, but I think the Chiefs just have too much firepower. I think the Bengals are a year or 2 away from getting there. But I would not be shocked if Joe Brady is smoking that cigar at the end of the game with Jamar Chase. Now, that receiving core for the Cincinnati Bengals is the best that is in the league right now. I would take that over receiving core. I'm not talking tight ends or anything. I'm talking receiving core. They have 3 good, 1 great receiver and 2 very good route receivers. And then you have a good quarterback who's cocky and arrogant and can throw those balls in tight windows. I just can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. That guy's a bad man. That guy's he's my new favorite player to watch. I love Patrick Mahomes, Texas Tech guy. I just think the Bengals can keep it close, but I think the Chiefs run away with it at the end.
All right, Phil, you rolling with the he's not old, but a little bit old. He's a little bit older than Burrow, not by much, but are you rolling with the guy that we've seen win an MVP? Seen a guy that win a Super Bowl, went to multiple Super Bowls? Or are you going with the young Joey B, who's going to be doing the same things in the next couple of years? You know, with one of the youngest talented quarterbacks in the game. Like Trey said, he got a little cockiness to him, got a little swagger to him. Who you rolling with, man?
Hey, look, I'll tell you right now, man, I'm a little biased because, one, I had both Mahomes and Tyreek on my fantasy team, and they were inconsistent all year. Number 2, I'm from New Orleans, so I'm rolling with the guy that helped bring my city another championship in 2019 with a perfect undefeated season, that bad man Joey Burrow. But check this out, look, the Chiefs should win, right? They should win. You got the best quarterback in the league in Patrick Mahomes, a top 5 wideout in Tyreek Hill, top 2 tight end in Travis Kelce, a stable of running backs. But like I said earlier, they've been inconsistent all year. Tyreek has had games where he's had 2 catches for 20 yards, 1 catch for 50 yards. No catches, right? Mahomes has had games where he's thrown 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions, uncharacteristically, just loose with the football. And all year, Joe Burrow and the Bengals have been consistent with their style of play. And I truly believe that had he not tore his ACL last year behind that porous offensive line, they probably would have made the playoffs last year too. So if like our man Trey said, if they could jump on the Chiefs early and cause Mahomes to get maybe a little bit too overconfident or a little bit too erratic in the pocket, I think if the game is close, the Chiefs lose. But if the Chiefs get on the roll early, then it's going to be a blowout. I think to me, those are the only two options I see: either close Bengals win, or the Chiefs are winning by 2, maybe even 3 touchdowns.
But I will say this: the Bengals are playing with house money, right? Like no one expected them to be here. No one expects them. No one's giving them a shot in the AFC Championship. They're going to Arrowhead Stadium, and that's a dangerous thing for this Bengals team. No one's giving them a shot. They're playing with air-free football. That they don't care. All the pressure's on the Chiefs. And
I would say this though too, Trey. Because think about this. At least from a Bengals player perspective, right? As a quarterback, he has to look back and see the whole Carson Palmer era, right? Mm-hmm. Look back and see the entire Andy Dalton era, right? So I think this is a little bit of pressure on him to want to show the fan base that, hey, we can win this, man. We're not just sitting in mediocrity, you know.
Yeah, I think like I said, they overachieved like all the expectations over the year, and this right here is just like a bonus to it. Like, hey, when you overachieve accomplishments, we go throw you some incentives. Here, go win 2 playoff games. Go play for the AFC Championship game. Like, this is something to remember. This is something like still going, man. Like I can't just say like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, man. I know what he's capable of, though. But I gotta roll with the underdogs. You know, like the team that beat the number 1 seeded team, that beat a Raiders team that won on a field goal against the Chargers. They overcome a lot of accomplishments, though. Like, this is 2 playoff wins I ever seen in my lifetime. So it would be crazy if they can win the AFC Championship game and advance to the Super Bowl. Hey, man, look, Fred, I'm going to tell you like this.
Mahomes has looked too comfortable this year. He's looked too comfortable. When you get comfortable, you get complacent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He is the best QB in the league, hands down. You got to give it to him, right? He's generational. Yes. But, hey, them young Bulls on your neck, though. Them young Bulls on your neck.
And I'm telling people this, though. A four-man rush probably can't stop Mahomes, but if you bring in an extra blitzer and stuff, it's going to take him off guard. Because we've seen it numerous of times. And that's why the reason why we drafted Mike Hilton. He was one of the best slot corners, best blitzing, that caused distractions, that make quarterbacks mess up their reads. This is the perfect formula for Mike Hilton to have a great game. And Jesse Bates get another interception. Because he already sealed like, is he getting paid next year. He caught an interception on Tenney on first play of the game. Like, hats off to that. But this is a great game for the Bengals defense to actually get some extra pressure on Mahomes and double team Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill with everything they got. Like,
all right. Well, I'll tell you one thing: if some way somehow the Bengals lose, my dude Clarence might need to call a hospital. Somebody might need to call somebody to come after that, my dude, because he's gonna be hurt. We're gonna have to check up on you. I'm about to send you some tissue. We're going to tell the job, hey, he's not missing work because of COVID. He's missing work something worse. Worse. This is something that don't come around often. When his Bengals lost. So we'll take care of you.
Oh, man.
We just talked about 2 young, great quarterbacks. Last night, there was rumors running around, and these rumors have not been confirmed true yet. But CBS did break this news. So it's nothing official as of yet. I'm going to put it on the screen. And it says, Tom Brady's preparing to announce his retirement, according to those close to him reports. At Jason L.A. Canafora.
Jason L.A. Canafora.
Yeah. So, if that is true, what will Tom Brady's legacy be? Like, how will we remember him? Our reactions to him retiring, stepping away. Should he stay in the game a little bit longer? Trey, you had the little flick on your face. Give us your reaction.
Are you really asking what his legacy is? This guy's a 7-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. This guy has done it with less. I mean, this guy has more playoff, like almost double than what Joe Montana has, and he had 4. what I'll say about this report, after that he tweeted that, he did take it down and deleted the tweet. But after hearing what after the post game coverage and the way he was talking, it didn't sound like a guy that was coming back. It sounded like he wanted to spend time with, like he said his family's more important to him, and like his clothing line's coming out, like he wants to do other things. He's missed taking his kids to school and everything. That doesn't sound like a guy that wants to come back. And I will say this: I think Tom Brady is the best quarterback. I wouldn't say the best regular season quarterback, but this guy is the best clutch performer quarterback I have seen in my generation. I mean, there was no lead ever safe. When we saw the 28-3 against Atlanta, we almost saw a 23-3 comeback win yesterday without his weapons last week. This guy he can win a defensive battle. He can win in a shootout. This guy was just a clutch performer everywhere. He won Super Bowl after Super Bowl. Number one I think he's number one over all time. Yes, you can say a lot of those teams were defensive teams, but at the same time, when it was called upon in the clutch situations, they needed a drive. Tom Brady was always there and had probably the most game-winning drives of anyone in NFL career history. But in the playoffs, we all know what his legacy is, but I honestly believe that he should hang it up this year. The concussion, he hit his head hard in one play of the game, and his wife Giselle said that concussions were a big part of why she didn't want him to play anymore, and that was 5 years ago. But at the same time, he's going to be 45 next year. I think his kids seen him play. I think it's time to hang it up. Usually after press conference, like, oh, we'll get him next year, we'll blah, blah, whatever, the rah-rah speeches, like, oh, I'm coming back. But now after hearing him talk, once you have 1 foot out the door, athletes know once you have 1 foot out the door, you might as well have both feet out the door, because you're always thinking about retirement, and that's a bad thing because you're not going to have your all in. And I think Tom Brady is like, what else do I have to do? I think he wanted to be back-to-back champions. I think he won the 8th Super Bowl, but I think this is a great year for him to hang it up, because the league's in perfect shape for him to hang it up. I mean, yeah, we're going to miss him, but at the same time, the NFL is not going to miss a beat with all these young quarterbacks and Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, all those other guys. So the league's in a good place of where it is right now, and we have the superstars that we have right now in the NFL because of him, majority. But at the same time, I think it's time for him to hang it up, and I think he will hang it up. I think you'll see it on probably middle February. He'll probably announce his retirement via TikTok or something like that. But this guy's legacy, I think we all know his legacy. His legacy is the winningest quarterback in Super Bowl history. I mean, the most wins in Super Bowl history. And no one's ever going to touch that. Patrick Mahomes is probably the only player who can probably come close to it if he starts winning back-to-back Super Bowls right now. But that's a record that's probably never going to be beaten. 7 Super Bowls for one player. It's time for him to hang it up.
All right, Phil?
Man, yeah, all biases aside, and if anyone ever asks him, I always say Drew Brees is the greatest player of all time, but Tom Brady's the GOAT, man. And I think he's the epitome of right place, right time, right? He got drafted into the perfect situation by the greatest head coach of all time. I mean, I would like to say that any quarterback can get to that position to succeed, but we saw that's not true, right? We saw that happen with Cam Newton and other quarterbacks that have come through with Patriots way and not have been as successful. So I think he's the GOAT, man. He's a winner, and he won when it matters. Really, that's all it is, you know.
All right, Clarence.
Yeah, I agree. Phil and Trey, what they saying, like, this guy is a winner. Like, he's the definition of a winner when it comes to like winning, basically. But Tom Brady, he overall had a great career. You don't forget, he's the new touchdown leader, the only quarterback that threw 600 touchdowns in his career. He got he's an all-time passing yard, so his career is like sealed right there. And I think I agree with Giselle. It's time to hang it up and start this new era of football, because he's been around the park for 20 plus years, and he proved day in, day out why he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. And that's something right there. You get the utmost respect, because you don't see a lot of 40-year-olds that dominate and still dominating and getting Pro Bowls, All Pros, notification nods, like even MVPs, even being the oldest quarterback in the Super Bowl game. Like them are like historic like records that probably will never be broken though. But kudos to Tom Brady though. He is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
All right. Let's go on to the next great quarterback.
Oh, Lord.
And he's a bad man. He's a bad man in Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, their season did end on a bad foot.
Messed up my
On a
ticket.
note that on a note that even him, he didn't want to. He started the season off with some, bad way. He didn't want to be there, wanted to be traded, didn't want to report, missed all the summer activities, and then finally they worked out a deal where they said, okay, we'll cut some of your contract off where basically you have like another year with us. Okay. And then the season came in. They had to blow out, got beat up by the Saints game one. Everybody and their mama wanted to say, oh, the Packers are done. Aaron Rodgers isn't that guy. It's over. And then they just went on a run. And then it paused for a little bit because he caught COVID. Found out that he lied about him being vaccinated and he was immunized.
Is that what y'all do over there at Green Bay, Freddie? Y'all lie about COVID and stuff, man?
Hey, I'm Big Blue, baby. I rock that everybody blue.
Oh my God.
So, that situation went through, and they went on another run, got to the playoffs, had to buy home back-to-back years, home field advantage. This year they lose to the San Francisco 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo at the QB position. Where do we rank Aaron Rodgers in the QB position in today's game? And I'm gonna start it off. It don't matter what happens, because you know what? I can't blame all that on him because he's still a bad man in Aaron Rodgers. I know what this brother's about. Y'all know what he's about. Hey, what he shows me isn't lying. Was he the special teams that gave up the lead? Was he the defense
Oh
who could
my
not stop
God.
special teams? I mean, it wasn't his fault that they blocked the punt. It's not his fault that they blocked the field goal. I mean, what else do you want this man to do? He can't play every side of the field. I mean, he's the quarterback. He put them in position to win. He put him in the position to win. It's not my fault this man did not have another receiver out there that he can trust. It's not my fault instead of the Green Bay Packers, instead of them drafting Jordan Love, they could use that for another receiver that could get separation, who Aaron Rodgers could trust. It's not his fault. So, I mean, everybody pump the brakes.
So hold up, Freddie. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Did Green Bay have home field advantage this playoff season year?
Yes, they did.
They did. Well, maybe they could have had a higher seed.
Snowy, everything.
Maybe they could have had a higher seed if your boy didn't lie about his COVID vaccination status and catch COVID mid-season.
Well, I agree with you on that part. But what I'm saying is, we cannot sit up here and say, oh, it's your fault, Aaron. You're the reason why.
I can.
But he didn't get the punt block.
It's both of their faults, Freddie.
How? Tell me.
It's both of their faults because one, the organization didn't put a better team around him. Mm-hmm. Two, Aaron Rodgers just didn't show up in certain in the big games though. Like let me read you this stat real quick. The Green Bay Packers are the only team, they won the most regular season and still haven't reached a Super Bowl. That's the most wins of all. They got like 39 wins. That's most of wins all time for a team that didn't reach the Super Bowl. That's ridiculous. Like, that goes on Aaron Rodgers and the organization because the organization failed to put more weapons around him.
Who did?
Like,
whoa, stop with you. Who failed?
Oh, both. I'm telling you, both of them.
No.
Failed.
What you just say? Who failed, sir?
Oh yeah, the Packers organization failed too.
Okay, then continue.
Because I'm just telling you. I'm just being honest for what I'm seeing though. Like, these Packers team hasn't been really competitive, but Aaron Rodgers kept them competitive. And sometimes it can be tiresome. It can be real tiring leading a whole team to a conference championship and don't win. But sometimes on Aaron Rodgers, when you make it that far, you gotta finish. and that's what he had a problem with. He couldn't close out in big games. He threw late interceptions. Team scored on their defense. Like they both need to split up. He should not be in Green Bay at all next season because Green Bay, they're too stuck up in their head to build a great team around a Hall of Fame quarterback that needs everything around him. Look at Matthew Stafford. He has a solid run game, a great O-lineman, and a great weapon and good weapons. And he got elite defense. Like they got to do a better job of surrounding more talent around their franchise guy. But these two need to split because we got the same result. But difference is, no, they got the same thing. They didn't make the Super Bowl. They didn't make the Super Bowl, man. They all that little weapons they got, they didn't make the Super Bowl, man. That falls on the organization and Aaron Rodgers, man.
Hey, Clarence, you know what's funny? How you just sat up here and explained basically the same thing that I did with this organization, the lack to put weapons around Rodgers. You know what? I hope Rodgers do leave Green Bay. You know why? They don't deserve greatness like that. They don't deserve a man like Aaron Rodgers. They don't.
But he also needs to come in his games too. He also needs to show up in big games as well. Because sometimes when the team playing their part and their quarterback does it, it doesn't make it. They lose a losing situation right there, man. Like they both need to split away and go different directions. You got Jordan Love, develop that guy. Focus on developing that guy because Aaron Rodgers is not that guy anymore.
Well, I got a special message to Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna let Trey go after this. Hey, man. See with the Giants. You know, hold on. Trey, hold on. I got something I want to say to Aaron Rodgers. I got a little.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's listening.
I got a little. Here you go. Hey, Aaron. You come down here to New York. We got this new GM down here. We got this great offensive minded as a head coach now. We have Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, Evan Ingram, Kadarius Toney, Rudolph, a decent defense. We're working on our old line. We're working on that. But you come down here, you already be the best quarterback in the division.
He really serenaded Aaron Rodgers.
You will put us in the number one team in that division. And you come down here, you put on that purple and gold, it will happen, my brother. Aaron, come to New York. You look good in New York Giants colors.
Freddie, I know you did not just say the Giants have a great O-line.
I said we're going to build it.
No. You are not going to sit here and say the Giants have a great O-line. We all know that's
No, we don't. Our O-line is horrible, so we're going to build it.
You going to build it in 1 year?
For 6 years.
For like 10 years.
I say 20.
Hey. Big Game James, man. Hey, bro, Green Bay is done. He's coming to the Big Blue. Trying to wait, watch.
You know what? As a Cowboys fan, please do. Come to Big Blue with no offensive line and no weapons. Please do. I welcome
it. You keep saying we don't have weapons, Tony. What you don't
I will say though, Freddie, I love the pickup from Brian Daboll. I think he's going to get more out of Daniel Jones, and he's going to turn this Giants team, like, get their passing game up better. I love the coach. I love the coach pickup. I think they should improve though, but they still need to get that line together. They need to spend some LA Chargers money at this point.
And Freddie, can I ask, what was your number one paid wide receiver last year?
He was terrible.
Preach
Galladay. But you know
Galladay. What? How many touchdown catches your number one paid wide receiver had last year?
Him and Tony had 0.
How many touchdowns did your left tackle or right tackle have?
It don't matter.
1.
Henry Ruggs got
your right tackle had more than your number one paid wide receiver.
Listen here. I'm gonna answer that, Tony.
And you
That's
think
what a
Aaron Rodgers
Daniel
will come in there?
Jones. That's what a Daniel Jones with a bad O line. Okay, that was his fault. But we improved his O line and put Rodgers back there. Watch the same thing we say about Adams, but we're gonna be saying about Galladay. Watch.
No, you're
I
not.
actually think
Wait,
Daniel Jones is good
wait.
enough to win with.
Are you telling me that Kenny Galladay is on the same level as Devontae Adams? Is that what you're telling me right now?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying Rodgers gonna make him look like it because Rodgers gonna elevate his game.
So Aaron Rodgers couldn't do it with a better wide receiver, so he's going to do it with the wish list version of Devontae Adams. That's what you tell me.
Yeah.
Well, no, Aaron Rodgers couldn't do it with one guy because Devontae Adams is the only guy on the Green Bay Packers. On the Giants, you have multiple weapons.
Who's your other
combined.
weapons?
You have Sterling Shepard,
He gone.
Kadarius Toney. You have
Okay.
Kyle
Evan Ingram
you have
can't catch.
And he's injured over there. He's inconsistent.
Will Rodgers, and you have Saquon Barkley. So
He
Also
averaged 3 yards
injured
per
because of
carry.
no O-line.
we're gonna fix the O-line, bro. That's what I keep trying to tell you. The O-line.
You said that for 10 years, Freddie.
Guess what? Kellerman, he's out of here. Kellerman, his ass is out of New York, and I'm happy.
It was an issue before Kellerman. It's been an issue.
The issue with the Giants is the lack of coaching they got up there in New York. So if they can keep a head coach and an offensive coordinator and actually give a educated guess for Daniel Jones, I will honestly think they can win with.
Well, the Giants wasn't even a part of this topic. I don't even know why y'all coming down on my Giants.
Because you said that Aaron can go to Big Blue. That makes no sense.
Yes, I would love to see him in Big Blue.
I
But
would
where do I rank him as a QB position now? I still rank him number 2 behind Patrick Mahomes. I mean, that don't change my mind. That don't change my thought process.
He's 31. Number 32 is Daniel Jones.
Well, he's back-to-back MVPs. Trey, where do you rank him?
We talking regular season or postseason?
I got him.
You want to be that guy, huh? You want to be that guy.
Aaron Rodgers,
make Jimmy G number 1.
Let's see. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, clearly above Aaron Rodgers. Joe Burrow, above Aaron Rodgers.
Joe Burrow, Jimmy Garoppolo, Matt Stafford, Tom Brady.
Whoa. You said Jimmy Garoppolo?
Yep. Hey, he beat him. Jimmy G in these playoffs.
Up in the morning. We about to end this show because they talking blasphemy now.
No, I would put him top 6 right now. I'm not top 2, not top 3. It's about 6. That's right. I mean, and I'm tired of this. He had no help. Did he not have one of the best defenses he ever had this year?
Yes.
Did he not? The defense held the 49ers to 13 points. 13. And you're asking your great quarterback, that bad man who wants everyone to come down to Green Bay, give you 10?
That's sad.
Zardarius Smith.
Come on. You have a running game and a two-headed monster in Aaron Jones and Dylan, but Dylan got hurt that last game. But at the same time, he had a running game all year. And let's not forget on that last throw when he threw it to double coverage against Devontae Adams, there was Alan Lazard running wide open for no one near him for 30 yards. He could have hit him right there. They would have kicked the game-winning field goal and won the game. But no, he wants to be cocky and arrogant and wants to say, I can make this throw because no one else can. And guess what? It didn't happen. Same thing happened last year against Tampa Bay. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they got up to that lead. But then what happened in the second half? 3 straight turnovers Tom Brady committed. What did Aaron Rodgers do on those turnovers? 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Did not do anything with the this guy is not a clutch performer. He can have all the MVPs he wants to, but he's only going to have 1 Super Bowl. And that was a lucky Super Bowl, mind you, that because all the pressure was off him. Let's be straight up honest with ourselves. They just got hot at the right time and faced the matchups that they needed to. Aaron Rodgers is tired of him complaining he has no weapons. He has no weapons. He has no weapons. Tom Brady also didn't have an elite wide receiving core, and he still won Super Bowls. I'm just saying. And he had the same defense that the Green Bay Packers gave him this year. Green Bay's best defense was this year.
Elite tight end.
He had the greatest coach of all time in Bill Belichick, too. So that's that trumps a lot of stuff.
But yeah, but at the same coaching can only get you so far. They're not out playing the game. But at the same time, Tom Brady never had a wide receiver like Devontae. When the one time he had Randy Moss, look what he did. It went undefeated and probably should have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for a lucky catch. But anyway, Aaron Rodgers, top 6 quarterback. The guy's a choke artist. He's 1-4 in NFC Championship games. He's 0-4 against the 49ers, against his home team that at the draft said they're going to regret the day that they picked me. And guess what? That's not been true whatsoever. So the 49ers should do. We own you, Aaron Rodgers. We own you, Aaron Rodgers, just like he did to the Chicago Bears. But let's just be straight. He's not going to be a Green Bay Packer next year. The salary cap issues, they're $45 million over the cap right now. That's ridiculous. And then Devontae Adams does not want to be franchise tag. He's not going to sign that franchise team, so he's not going to be back next year. And then also, he doesn't want to be in Green Bay. Let's just be straight up. He's going to force his way to Denver, which I don't know why he would want to go to Denver, because you have to Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert twice.
Ain't nobody scared of them.
Sure.
I will be.
Patrick Mahomes ain't better. Patrick Mahomes ain't better than
I will be.
Aaron Rodgers not better than who?
Aaron Rodgers ain't better than Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, that's true, but I ain't scared. We ain't scared of him.
I'm just saying.
You got to pay that man $40 million. No, I'm not bringing him to the AFC.
Tired. This is one thing I hate about professional athletes and everything like that. Yeah, we have no help. You got to pay these guys. But if they stop taking up 35% of the salary cap, they could go out and go pay these guys.
But you know what, Trey?
Let's be straight up honest with ourselves.
Pay them early too.
Exactly. That's why the Bengals are doing exactly what they need to do right now, because all these players are on rookie contract and they're winning while they're on a rookie contract. That's where all these successful teams, Patrick Mahomes, the Kansas City Chiefs, they won on Patrick Mahomes' rookie contract. That's what you have to do in today's NFL with the salary cap, instead of getting these guys like the Dak Prescotts, the Aaron Rodgers, these $40 million a year contracts, and you're eating up over half your salary cap.
But Trey,
like Kirk Cousins too.
Yeah.
Hold on. I want to bring this point up too, because I remember years ago the Lakers wanted Kobe to take a pay cut.
That's a totally different circumstance.
No. Hold on. Kobe said no. Well, you know why? Because the Lakers was not willing to put anything around him. They was not. They even proved to him that they was going to do right by him. Aaron Rodgers reports that he went in the office and said, "Hey, I want this guy. Hey, look at this guy. What do you think about this guy?" Then they basically told him to get the hell out of the office. You play football, and we make those decisions. So why should he take a pay cut when your ownership, your management have that type of mindset?
Well, I will say though, real quick, y'all, the organization didn't tell Aaron Rodgers they was drafting Jordan Love. So I kind of get what you're saying though, Freddie, though, but it's time for both of them to split, man. Yeah, and going back to your Kobe Bryant, basketball and football are totally different things. Let's just be straight up honest, brothers. Football, you need. It's a team. It's the only team sport out there that you really need a team. Basketball, you need one superstar, everything like that. That's neither here or there. And plus, the NBA money is guaranteed, where the NFL money is not. So therefore, it's totally different. It's apples and oranges comparison to me. I don't care.
Just come to Big Blue, Aaron. You'll be okay. We'll take it.
He's not going to Big Blue because Eric came out and said Danny Dimes is our guy. The owner's like, we need to build around Danny Dimes and give this guy some confidence and give him a head coach. He's not going to Big Blue.
You know why they did that? Everybody do that. Everybody did that. I remember when the Lakers said, "Oh, we love Lonzo. We love Ingram. We love Kuzma."
Why you keep bringing basketball into this? It's not basketball.
But you know, they just building up Daniel Jones trade, man. That's all they doing. That's all they're doing.
Yeah, the turnover machine that he is. Yeah, okay, everyone's going to take on that. But with his,
you know what? Next year, if he's still in John, he's going to be the best quarterback in that division. You can book it.
For one, let's just go back and after Aaron Rodgers negotiated his contract after this year, after training camp. Well, first year, if he wants out after this year, if he wants out of Green Bay, what happens? He has to be traded, and he has no say so where he wants to be traded. He has to play another year before he can become a free agent. He can go wherever he wants to. So that Green Bay Packers are not going to trade him within the NFC. Let's just be straight up honest with ourselves.
Shoot, he might say, "I'm going to retire and go be on Jeopardy."
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'll retire right now. I would.
That's what you want him to do because you're scared of him.
I do. I'm tired of this cocky SOB who thinks it's everyone else's fault but himself. He doesn't take blame for anybody. I'm tired of looking at his ugly feet. I'm tired of hearing the whine and cry. I'm tired of his lying. I'm tired of his BS. I'm tired of his arrogance. I'm tired of everything.
You sound a little personal, Trey. You all right?
I cannot stand this guy. He's a great quarterback, everything, but he has not backed up or proved anything to me that proved that he's one of the all-time greatest quarterbacks of all time. No, he's not.
I agree with you. That's why I hate the comparison with Andrew Brees.
Oh yeah, I'm immunized. No, you're free. And he goes, "Oh no, it's misunderstanding. No, you said you were not immunized. You said you were immunized and you weren't. Shut up. Mm-hmm. It's everyone else's fault but yourself. I'm tired of this guy. Get on my screen. I'm tired. Him and LeBron James both can go rotten.
Yeah, Trey's a big LeBron hater as well.
God.
Yeah.
Might
Phil,
drop on that one, huh?
yeah, Phil, where do you rank Rodgers?
Uh, Shoot, man, I think he still has a lot to give to the game. Regardless on how you feel about him, I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan. Again, I believe that resume wise, him and Drew Brees are very comparable, but Drew Brees gets so much hate and flight as opposed to Aaron Rodgers being this great guy. But I think he's still a top 5, top 6. I got Mahomes, I got Allen, I got probably Rodgers, Jackson, Burrow, Herbert, and Kyler Murray. Not in that order specifically outside of Mahomes, but to me, those are like my top 6 or 7 quarterbacks right now.
All righty. Just because, we already hit that hour mark, just because it got heated, and I had to come in here and try to, teach some folks, because, I'm not, we will not tolerate any slander when it comes towards Aaron Rodgers.
That sad man.
That bad man, sir.
Bum Rodgers.
Let's head to the NBA.
Oh, Lord.
Andrew Wiggins is an all-star. There's a lot of folks that's mad about it. There's a lot of people upset about it. Me personally, I'm not upset about it. Andrew Wiggins is a player that many people called a bust. The first few years of his career. They said that he's not living up to expectations. He's not that good of a player. But look at him now. I believe he's averaging like 20 points a game. He played Golden State when Clay was not there, guarded the best player in the opposing team. He's been the second guy to a Steph Curry. They're one of the best teams in the West. And if you look at any other wings in the West, Paul George is out. Kawhi Leonard is out. Brandon Ingram, his team's losing. So, me personally, I think it's fair that he got into the All-Star game. I like it. I love it. It's something different. So I think it's a fair call. Trey, what was your reaction to it?
My reaction
Take
was
a deep
great.
breath, Trey.
No, I'm actually agree with Freddie on this one. He actually deserved to get in as a starter. I don't know the way the people are reacting is kind of you got to look at they're not looking at the NBA rules for the NBA All-Star game. You have to have 2 backcourts and 3 front courts. If you want to get people are saying Book should have been over Wiggins. Their Book is a guard, a backcourt, and Wiggins is a front court. So who are you taking off that front court? Are you taking off John Morant, who's having a career year this year, over, and then Steph Curry got off hot, but now he's kind of settled down a little bit. But Steph Curry, we all know, is going to be in the backcourt. He's a fan favorite and all that. But Wiggins, everything's gone up this year. Points has gone up. Field goal percentage has gone up. Defense, he guards the best defender every night when Klay Thompson was out. He does it on the inside. He does it on the outside. This is the perfect fit for the Golden State Warriors because he doesn't have to be that guy. At Minnesota, everyone wanted to be the number 1 option. He's not that guy. He's a third leader on a team, on a championship team, and that's exactly what he is on the Golden State Warriors, especially when Klay Thompson has come back. He doesn't have to do it all on himself. All he asks him to do is shoot threes, and his 3-point percentage went up. He's doing everything in the world right now, and he's doing a phenomenal job. Now, if you want to get mad at the NBA and get rid of this position play, because let's be honest with ourselves, the NBA is no position player whatsoever. I mean, you have Draymond Green, who's 6'7", playing the center position most of the nights on the Warrior team. So if you wanted to talk about that, then yes, then I probably would have put
playing the center position as well.
Yeah, I would have put Book in over. Book's having a stellar year. He probably should have been a all-star, but let's be honest, he's going to get in as a reserve. But I will say this. There's something wrong with his fan voting and everything like that because the 2 top teams in both the East and the West Conference don't have 1 starter on the NBA All-Star team this year. That's just insane to me and remarkable. Klay Thompson was getting votes, and he was like the 8th best player, like getting votes he was like 8th best voting in this backcourt this year. And
What's the problem with it, though, Trey?
It's people are voting in these players that it's like the MLB All-Star game. Like Klay Thompson was getting votes, and he was in the running for, I think he was like top 4 at one point, and he hasn't even played a game this year. Just like when Yao Ming was out. I think it needs to be players, coaches, and fans. And I mean, I think that they need to. I'm not saying Ryder's because I don't think Ryder should
Like
be
lower
voting.
down a percentage of voting.
Yeah, that's what I think. I still think it should have the fan vote, but at the same time, I don't think it needs to be the highest percentage wise.
Trey, let me ask you a question. When it comes to these All-Star games, it's about what the fans want to see, what makes them exciting. When I watch a Chris Paul over a John Morant, I'm more excited to watch a John Morant.
Yeah.
When it comes to Steph Curry excites me more than a Devin Booker. I'm just being honest. Like I want to see Steph Curry shoot half court.
So what do Andrew Wiggins excite you for though, Freddie? He's a starter too.
Well, in his position, he's the best in his position.
And that's where the West. And say that, I mean, you're right. In the Western Conference, there isn't much front court to go. I mean, like you said, Paul George is out, Kawhi Leonard's out, Brandon Ingram's on a bad team. There's not great front court. Wiggins is probably the best overall improvement player in the. Should he have been the starter? I love Wiggins. I love the Warriors. I love Wiggins. I love what he brought to his Warrior team. But at the same time, he probably should have been reserved instead of a starter. But at the same time, you got to fall at the hands of the NBA and the way they make it the position wise. Let's just be straight up. Because Booker could have been a shooting a small forward. And
I'm not surprised Klay Thompson was top 4 because Klay Thompson is exciting to watch. Everybody want to see how many threes
he hasn't played a game since 2019.
He's been putting up Instagram videos of him working out.
He's been on a boat with his dog. I mean, good God. And I love Klay Thompson. I'm just saying there's just something wrong with like these guys who are like Devin Booker's and all these other players who are playing every single night, and yet they're getting votes for players who are on the injured list. It's not.
And did you see the players that were being petty and trolling? Or they literally Ben Simmons had some votes and John Wall had some votes.
It's something that Ben Simmons would have got in. What would he have done? Would he play in the All-Star game and not play one game for this year?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. And when now these jerseys they have their team names and stuff on the jerseys nowadays. I want to know what he put it on. He probably wouldn't put. He said, "You know what? It got Philadelphia on. I didn't want to wear it, so he probably wouldn't even play."
But all honesty, the NBA just probably needs to change their positions, and they don't need this backcourt, front court because let's be honest with Klay Thompson, Booker, even though they're classified as shooting guards, they actually could be small forwards, stuff like that. Just put the best 5 in because let's be honest with ourselves. Besides Jokic and Embiid, is there really a big center in the NBA right now? I mean,
I don't know. We've seen one other night.
Karl Anthony Towns is a good center.
Yeah, Towns.
I don't know. We seen the other night going against Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. Gave him 32 and 12, 4 blocks.
Embiid been on the road though. So
I'm not talking about Embiid. I'm not talking about Embiid. I'm talking about somebody that did that to Embiid, made Embiid look small. Just saying, second game back in the season. I'm not gonna put a name on it because But Clarence, what's your reaction to Wiggins getting in?
Yeah, I think when you look at these all-star votes and you get shocked. You get shocked by like who be the starter and who makes it though. But I agree with both of y'all though. Like there wasn't like no forward enough that was playing good at that level for the small forwards. And I think Andrew Wiggins played a good role for the Warriors because Steph Curry, he relies on that ability to get him the ball so he can shoot, find his spot. But Andrew Wiggins stepped up, like you said, defended one of the best players, gave him extra scoring. And he had a couple games when he was dominating, like a couple 30-point game, 140. So he's been playing well this season, though. But, I don't agree with the format with the 2 guards, 2, 3 backcourts because it doesn't make it exciting. Because when you're doing an all-star vote, you want the best of the best out there. Like, you want the fans' favorite players out there. It was surprised to me that they picked Andrew Wiggins though. They picked Andrew Wiggins to be the starter because he's played well. He turned his season up though. But a few years ago, the East had 3 guards, and they didn't bypass that at all. So it just like they should have carried them rules over to this season and let them pick who want to be the starting 5. But kudos to Andrew Wiggins though. You take advantage of the opportunity that's given to you, and you play your best. And he played his best, though. I will say, like, Would you make Anthony Edwards a starter over Wiggins though? Some people might say yes, might say no, but Wiggins earned his spot. Let's not be a hater to him though. He earned his spot, and we should give him credit for it because this is his first time, and he's a starter, so he's playing with the best of the best. So kudos to Andrew Wiggins though.
I will say this: when Steph Curry started going downwards and being on his shooting slump, he carried. I can argue he carried that Warriors team to what the record is right now too. Like he helped carry. Like when Steph Curry was going down, Andrew Wiggins was hitting the bomb threes, the gut wrenching shots, the killer instincts. He was doing it on a consistent basis, and he helped keep the Warriors afloat when Steph Curry was in that shooting slump as he is right now too, because we all know Steph Curry is the greatest shooter in the world, but he's in a slump right now, shooting below his field goal percentage. But he helped, like he was hitting clutch shot after clutch shot, guarding the best player. So if the Warriors record wasn't what it was, the second best in the West, and didn't have the great record that they have right now, he probably wouldn't be a starter. That's a key aspect in it as well too. And shout out to the Golden State Warrior fans for voting. I mean, that's actually what it was. I mean,
yeah.
I'm still mad that LeBron James somehow overtook Steph Curry as a captain. I mean, let's just be honest with ourselves.
LeBron, though, he's been carrying that Lakers team, even though they got a terrible record, though. He's been showing up day in, day out, though. And honestly, Russell Westbrook had a good game last night, too. So I expect him to be on the reserves as well.
We all know why LeBron is a captain, because he's the best player in the game.
Because he votes for himself.
Leader in the game. And the people, us fans, want to see LeBron James. We know.
No, we don't. I'd be happy with an All-Star game without LeBron James.
You would.
I would be so happy.
I don't know. It probably would look different, though. He's a fan favorite, so he's automatically going to get in.
You know what, Trey? I'm going to say this, my brother. I want you to really soak this in. Because you remind me of a lot of people that used to hate Kobe. Respect him while he's living. Because, man, when Kobe died, man, a lot of people that hated him started to love him and miss him and what he represented.
No one hated Kobe personally at the end of his career. Kobe changed his style. Everyone respected Kobe Bryant, the way he worked, his work ethic, his everything. What LeBron James' problem is, he's too much of a social leader, I guess you could say, and that's turning half of America off by him. Let's just be, that's what it is. With his platform, kudos to him for using his platform, everything. I'm not against that whatsoever. I just don't like the guy because he makes a comment. That's when I knew I was the best player ever. Whenever they came back from 3-1, whenever he couldn't hit a shot in the fourth quarter in the game 7, but Kyrie Irving carried that team, or the 3-point shot, and that's when he said he was the best player. But that's neither here or there. But everyone respected Kobe Bryant. Everyone feared Kobe Bryant. No, this young talent team, they don't fear LeBron James anymore. They don't fear. He didn't have the killer instinct that Kobe Bryant had, and people just don't like LeBron James and what he stands in, because he's a crybaby whiner, and Kobe never had that. Kobe Bryant was a fierce competitor. He gave it his all. Kobe Bryant got mad at LeBron James for not taking the final shot in the All-Star game that one year. That's how Kobe Bryant was. Everyone respected Kobe Bryant. Not a lot of people, over half Americans in the NBA don't respect LeBron James.
Oh, my God, Trey.
Come to South Texas. No one respects this guy. No one respects this guy. I respect his game. I respect his game. Yes, he's probably top 3 all the time. I'm not denying that. But his cocky, his arrogant, he's switching for getting these super teams over and over again, and he still can't get over them. He's not the best player.
Michael Jordan, though.
Michael Jordan's the best player ever was.
But he was cocky. He was arrogant. He was a bad teammate.
But here's the stance, though. He didn't have the social media that LeBron James has, where he's speaking out, where he's like, a lot of people like it, a lot of people don't. That's the era we're in. Am I right? Like, some people have the Republican, you're Democrat, blah 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 blah. That's all I'm saying is that.
Well, when we talk about people don't like you judge him until the game. I mean, that's why I judge him. I mean, I don't care about none of that stuff. I mean, I just care about the game.
I think the game is top 3, but he's not. He's never going to. Yeah, he's going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar probably this year or next year or whatever the case may be in points. But at the same time, people just get turned off by him because he's always on your TV screen. He's always on the media, social media. He's always on doing something. It's always about him. That's what I'm trying to get. It's always about him.
Well, I mean, We've never seen nobody come in at age 18 and just dominate the way he have, bro. I mean,
He's
that's
also been hurt this year too.
yes, but still, we've never
All
seen
the
nobody.
times, and I told you this last year that he's probably still gonna put up points, but he's gonna be more injured than he ever has coming up because Father Time
Yes, I mean he missed 11 games. It's not like he missed most of the season, but we've
he's
never
gonna
seen nobody. We've never seen no player in year 19 play the way that he's playing.
and also, did we ever have a great player like in Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant ever just take because he needed a vacation during the beginning of the season, go down to Miami and just take 2 weeks off because he needed to get his mind right?
He ain't did that in LA, so I'm not gonna get into that.
I'm just saying.
Hey, all that matters is what he do in
Stuff like
LA.
that.
That's all that matters. Hey,
Man, he
all
was
that
great
matters.
ever since he stepped into the league, man. That's all I gotta say.
But man,
If I was 6'8" and 280 pounds, I could do what he does too. Just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
hey, let's get into the MVP talk, man. Let's be honest, man. If this Lakers team was good, they had a winning record, LeBron be the MVP hands down, by far, by far. But right now, look like Joel Embiid is ahead of it right now because he is having one of the best big man seasons right now. He is on a stretch right now that's just going crazy. Hey, Shaq and Charles and Chuck and them guys have been telling him to be dominate, get more aggressive, get in the post. He's been doing it a lot more than that lately, and he's been doing it. But who's you guys MVP?
Still up in the air, but if you had asked me right now, Joel Embiid, what he's doing is like remarkable. Jokic is probably number 2 for me. Jokic, the Joker, he's probably number 2. If you would have asked me this about a month ago, I would have said, or 2 months ago, I would have said Steph Curry, just the way he was. But he took a big dive for whatever reason that is. Then I would have said Kevin Durant, but then he got injured. LeBron James is having a remarkable year, but at the same time, the reason Steph Curry didn't get MVP last year is because his team was ranked 8th in the conference. So you can't give it to a team that's not my standards. Is what I've been hearing from other people votes and everything like that. Is you have to be like in the top 3 for whatever reason in your conference or top 4 or 5, whatever. But you can't be 7, 8 to get the MVP. So if you're going by that standards, I would go right now Joel Embiid. But can Joel Embiid stay healthy through the second half of the season? That's going to be a question of it in itself as well. I think it's still up in the air. I think a lot of people are in it. But right now it's Joel Embiid. What he's doing on the court without Ben Simmons, and keeping his team afloat, treading water the way he is, carrying this team on his back. Give me Joel Embiid.
Trey, so what you mean to tell me the Lakers get top 5, it's still a chance that LeBron can get that MVP. Bron, I think it's time to go on the run. It's time to go on a run to prove you guys wrong.
He's not getting an MVP, Freddie.
He's not getting MVP.
He's not getting an MVP.
So you mean to tell me? I'm just hoping here what I'm about to say because the schedule's about to get real tough. So let's say they just go on this run. They just winning. And Russ looking good. LeBron still doing what he's doing. AD looking good. And he get them the top 5, top 4 seed in the West. You don't think he can get in that MVP conversation?
He can get that MVP conversation, but he's not going to get MVP.
Nah, I don't think if he even make the top 5 because, if Embiid is still hot, Giannis is getting hot as himself, and Jokic is playing his game. He keep him like in the top 3. Hell, even Devin Booker should get some recognition though, because they got the best record in the NBA right now. 39-9? Like Devin Booker need to get some recognition for that as well.
All right, Clarence, who your MVP?
My MVP as of right now, I think it's Joel though, because Joel Embiid, he's been carrying like this Sixer team while they've been dealing with the Ben Simmons situation. He's been keeping them above waters and stuff, and he's been playing his game. 30, like I think 35 points in the last 10 games. Like the man's been balling, but can he keep it going? Keep it going. Can they get past the trade deadline? Is they gonna get rid of Ben Simmons? He don't even worry about all that right now. All he's doing is playing his game and leading his team on. If they can find a good trade that fits that team, they do that though. But at the same time, he's keeping them above water though. Now my second one is Jokic. So, he's leading the Nuggets. He's always been that floor general, scorer, rebounder, whatever you need him to be. And my third one will be Giannis. I will say that. It will be Giannis though because he's getting his groove back. The Bucks looking more. They looking like they can take over the first seed in the East. So be on the lookout. But that and another one, Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker should get some recognition in this because they have the best record in the NBA. So if he don't get no recognition, the NBA is a joke.
All right. Let's ask the last question of the morning. Let's get it heated in here. I'm gonna see if I can get that little vein in Trey's head to pop out his head over there.
Oh boy.
You know what? Matter of fact, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it just to get you already shaked up, already riled. Y'all see what's behind me? Y'all see that logo? That beautiful logo. That purple and gold logo. They didn't have the best start of the season that they wanted. I believe they 24 and 26, 2 games below 500. Russell Westbrook have not looked like that guy.
He played well yesterday.
Yeah, he played good yesterday, but he's by himself. I don't make too much off of that.
I mean, the Lakers play, they show up in the situation.
Is it too late? Huh?
Cool. Never mind. I was just going to say one guy we're forgetting about MVP is John Morant.
Yeah. I agree. Is it too late?
Just try not to talk Lakers.
Is it too late for the Lakers to turn their season around?
Yes.
Here you go. Be realistic, Trey, please.
I said this when this team was presently constructed at the beginning of the year when they traded for Russell Westbrook. This team is not going to make a noise in the playoffs. They're not even going to make noise. They're going to get in the playing game. They'll probably win the playing game, but then they'll be one and done in the playoffs as well. This team is old. They lose to young, fresh leg teams like the Memphis Grizzlies, like the Sacramento Kings. They can't beat the Sacramento Kings for God's sake. I think they're 2-2 on the year against the Sacramento Kings. They can't beat the Minnesota Timberwolves. They can't hold Golden State. They can't hold the Phoenix Suns. They can't go up and down like these teams are. Can they make a run? Can they make it interesting? Yeah, but their schedule is getting tough. And then you have Anthony Davis, who comes back after a month or two hiatus, and then the first game he goes back on the injury report because he gets hurt again. Anthony Davis cannot stay healthy. The only thing that saved him from winning the championship was that COVID hiatus, that 6-month layoff that got him healthy and let them get on that bubble. And don't even say he got healthy. He was healthy. He wasn't healthy whenever the COVID stopped, and now he got healthy. And after that, he's injury prone, dude. Every year, look at him. He's injured every single year. This guy cannot stay healthy to save his life. LeBron James is getting older. He can't carry. When he came back from his injury, he was averaging 33 points a game, and they were still losing games. Tell me when that has happened. With LeBron James on Miami Heat, the Cleveland Cavaliers, when he's scoring, they're basically winning all these games, but now they're losing by double-digit points to these younger, stellar teams. With him scoring 33, averaging 7 points and rebound assists a game. So this team is just not constructively well enough to handle that. They're old. They're older. Carmelo Anthony's had a great start to the beginning of the year. They don't have enough shooting around this team. Reeves, I will say this. What's his name? Austin from Oklahoma. He's been a great shooter for the Lakers. But they need more constant shooting. Monk is a hell of a player. I don't know why Frank Vogel's a bad coach. I don't know why you hired him as a coach. He's not a very good coach to begin with. This team, there's just too much talent in the West right now with Memphis Grizzlies, Sacramento Kings coming up. Can they get in the play-in tournament? Yes, but they will not. They won't make any noise. I'm not worried about this team, and I told you this. They could probably go on a little run here and there, but we all know Russell Westbrook is not the guy. For some reason, he does not contribute well to winning teams because he's a stat packer. This team's just too old. Can LeBron James stay healthy? We're seeing a lot of injuries that are hurting him that have never hurt him before. We all know Anthony Davis can't stay healthy. I think they get in the playing game, but I think they're one and done in the playoffs.
All right, Clarence.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna tell you like this though. I truly believe that they go, at least get into playoff position though, because they still have a lot of key players on their team that can contribute, taking them to the playoffs. Now, we know LeBron is old and some apparent reason, like he's still playing, he's dominating the game. Just like how Brady is dominating the game in football, but LeBron's still dominating. So whenever you got LeBron, you still have a chance to make the playoffs. Or in other words, you're going to make the playoffs when you got playoff Braun with you. So I think they're going to change it around. You know, they got to get everybody healthy. They get everybody healthy, and they gotta keep building that chemistry. So when they do go into the playoff, they won't get burned out, or they won't be like, you know, out of shape, or their mental won't it still be there though. So I think they will change it around because, you know, they have some time for them, like, you know, to build that chemistry, get healthy. And if LeBron's still playing at that level that he is right now, I think they still can make the playoffs though, Freddie and Trey. I know you're not a big Bron fan though, but you can't deny like what he brings to the table. And what he brings to the table is greatness though, honestly. It's greatness that we're watching right now.
It is greatness, but at the same time, when you say playoffs, are you talking like the 6th seed in playoffs, or are you talking 10 through 7?
I would say like the 6. I think if they can get healthy and
That's the
they
key word.
start beating teams under 500, and they beat the teams that they're supposed to beat and be competitive against good teams, I think they got a legitimate shot though, because you see the Clippers is falling.
Yep.
You see the Mavericks, they kind of shaky. And the Grizzlies, well, I think the Grizzlies going to be a top 4 seed, but things can change from here to now. That's why, like, I'm very like open to seeing like when they get all healthy, how they gonna play out now. But I think they can turn it around. They can make the 6th seed.
Listen, man, there's still a chance this team can get in the 5th seed. By the way,
second round exits though, Freddie.
Listen here. It all depends on what Anthony Davis we gonna get. Because if we get the Anthony Davis the other night that put up 32, 12, and 4 blocks, it's going to be hard to beat this team in a 7-game series. With him doing that, LeBron doing what he's doing, Malik Monk doing what he's doing, Melo giving us timely shots, Russ do what he do, cut down on the turnovers, which he's worked on, which he's have done as of late. Team going to be a hard out. And let's not sit up and act like the Lakers are not going to make adjustments, make trades. Let's not act like they're not going to bring in reinforcements. And let's see if they get an Eric Gordon. They can put him in that backcourt. Hey, that's a proven shooter that, you know, hey, you give him the space, he can knock it down. I've even seen a trade room for Terrence Ross, somebody who can score. So, hey, the Lakers are not done yet. The one thing I do know is about a LeBron James-led team, like Claire said, that he will make sure his guys are ready, and it's going to be a tough out. It's like I've been saying all year. It's not how you start a season. It's not about that. It's who's the hottest team coming out the end. And if this team is hot, this team clicking on all cylinders, it's going to be a hard out. It's going to be a hard team to bounce out of a 7-game series. I have them coming out as the 5th seed. I still have them going to the Western Conference Finals. And then, hey, all that matters is in the NBA is if you have a chance to go to the party. That's all that matters. They just need to be invited to the dance, and then that's where they can party. We knew when this team was assembled, it was built for the playoffs. It was not built for the regular season. We knew that. It was built for the playoffs. And we will see.
But I will say this, looking at the current standings right now, for them to get to the 5th seed, which Dallas holds right now, they are 5 games behind Dallas and 4 games behind Denver for the 6th seed. I'm just saying that it looks like they have to have one of those teams falter as they're, you know what I mean? They have to have one of those. And Dallas is one of those teams, like they're hot, they're cold, like you don't know what you're going to get from Dallas. The Denver, I don't think Jokic is going to have that long losing streak. So when you're saying, yeah, they can make a long playoff, but the scary thing is with this play-in tournament, it's one and done. They almost got beat by the Golden State Warriors. It wasn't for LeBron James shot.
For who shot?
I'm just saying, LeBron James, I give him his credit when he has it. He was never a clutch player until recently. I mean, until the Cleveland, and But he's kind of come down to earth a little bit. But I'll give him his credit. He had a great shot over Stephen Curry in that playing game. But that's what's the thing that's scary about those playing tournaments, right? Is because it's the NBA, it's the NCAA format. It's one and done. One team can get hot and you can have a bad game. It's not a 7-game series. That's what's scaring me about the Lakers not making a deep playoff run.
And I'm gonna tell you one good fun fact: when LeBron and AD are healthy, they're undefeated when it comes to the playoffs.
When's the last time they've been healthy in the same year all year long?
Well, we about to see it now on a stretch where, and dude, that's what we got to realize too, you guys. This big three, we have not really seen them long enough to make a fair judgment on them on the court together. So let's let them all three play together, build some chemistry, and let's see what we can build here. I mean, it's not over yet. I mean, it's just getting started.
What I'm going to say is they better come out from the All-Star break hustling because they only have 32 games left.
But we starting tomorrow. We starting on a Sunday afternoon to get that up in Atlanta. I think we in Atlanta. In Atlanta at 12 o'clock. Yoel said, congratulations.
Speaking of Atlanta, Trae Young shouldn't be an All-Star starter.
What? Who should be over him?
See, that's what I'm trying to think in my head right now. But Trae Young's having a bad year, like not a great year this year.
But
he's a fan favorite, though.
Yeah.
He shot horrible last night.
The only player that I can say can go over him is James Harden. That's about it, though. We talk about the point guard position. There's not many point guards in the East.
No.
Unless you want to put one of the point guards down in Cleveland.
Would you put Zach Levine in over him?
Well, that goes back to that positionless basketball. Zach Levine, he's not a point guard.
I like Darius Garland.
It's a guard backcourt. He's a backcourt.
Yeah, but I consider him more of a wing, a shooting guard, more of a wing than I do a point guard, though.
Drew Holiday.
Yeah. Thank you, Joel. I appreciate your comment.
But, man, hey, bro, this is another great episode of ASAP in the Morning. Want to thank you guys for coming on. Want to thank my dude, Trey, for coming on. I'm glad that I was able to educate you, school you on a few things early in the morning. I want to thank Clarence for coming on as well. Just hopefully you don't get your feelings hurt tomorrow, sir, because you get your feelings hurt, we're going to go searching for you. You're going to come up missing. I want to thank Phil for coming on as well. I want to thank all the viewers that tuned in. This is the All Sports, All Plays Network. More than likely, we'll be doing some play-by-play tomorrow, the games live. And we're giving you live reactions to it. But, hey, until then, we are out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, they working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.